In this short video, we're going to figure out how to solve this equation. So this looks like kind of an ugly equation, and I'm not quite sure how to approach this. So one of the great strategies you can use to solve problems is sometimes if you can come up with a similar sort of problem that's easier and simpler, then you can use what you learned from that to figure out how to do the actual problem you're working on. So let's try to do this. Let's try to come up with a couple examples that might help us. So let's start easy. Let's start easy. I have an equation 6 equals 2 plus 4, right? Pretty straightforward. Now what I want to do is I want to multiply the left. If I multiply the left side of this by 3, yeah? Well, I've multiplied the left side by 3, so I have to do the right side as well. Now the question is, do I multiply the 3 times just the 2, just the 4, or both numbers? So let's try it both ways, and several different ways, and we'll try to figure out what's the best way to go. So first, let's do this. Let's just multiply the 2 times 3, since that's the first number. So on the left side, 3 times 6, it gives us 18. On the right side, 2 times 3 is 6 plus 4. Remember, we just multiplied the 2 by 3. So now if I see 18 equals 6 and 4 is 10. Well, that's not right, right? That's not equal. So that must not be the way to go, multiplying by just the first number. Let's try it again this time. Start in the same place. I'm going to multiply the left side by 3. Now because it's the right-hand number, or the right-hand expression, let's do just the 4 to see if that gets it for us. So on the left we have 3 times 6, 18. On the right, remember, leaving the 2 alone. 4 times 3, what's that, about 12. So now 18, the question is that equal to 2 plus 12, which is what, 14? That didn't work either, right? So that's no good. Let's try doing both numbers this time. So again, we'll start here with 6 equals 2 plus 4. We'll multiply the left side by 3. Now we're going to multiply both of those numbers. So we'll do 2 times 3, and we'll do the 4 times 3. So now on the left I have, what, 3 times 6, 18. On the right, 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm liking this. On the left I still have 18. Is that equal to 6 and 12? 18. Absolutely, right? So this must be the way to go. We must have to multiply both items when we're doing this. So now let's apply this to the problem at hand. Back to the 2w over 3, I really want to get rid of that fraction as soon as I can. So if I multiply the left side by 3, then those two 3's will cancel each other out, and I'll be rid of the fraction. But what do I do on the right? There's 2 terms now. There's the 8 and the 4w. So just like we did on the 6 equals 6 example on the left, let's do the same thing here. I'm going to multiply the 8 times 3. And I'm also going to multiply the 4w times 3. Remember, we're doing both of them just like we did in the previous examples. So now the 3's cancel each other out. So now I have 2w equals 8 times 3, 24, plus 4w times 3, what's that, 12w. Now I've got the variable, the w, on both sides, and I need to get it on just one side. So I'm going to get rid of the 12 on the right. And I'm going to do the opposite, right? That's a plus 12w, so I'm going to subtract 12w, and that'll make that go away. And what you do to one side, remember, you have to do to the other. So here I'll also subtract 12w from the other side. Now let's clean this up. So 2w minus 12w, what's that, about negative 10w. On the right side, 24 stays. And now the 12 and the minus 12, okay, so that's 0. I can forget about that. I don't even need to write it. Now I don't want negative 10 times w, I want 1w. So I'm going to multiply the negative 10 by itself, because that'll give me 1. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other, so the 24, I'll divide that by negative 10. Now on the left, I have just w, 1w, right? And on the right, I have 24 divided by a negative 10. What's that, about negative 2.4. Done. So remember, when you're multiplying one side or the other of an equation, you have more than one item, and you can't combine terms or do anything to simplify that. You have to multiply each individual item on that side. Done.